Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to give you a little bit of a story, but I also want to kind of help you understand how the system in Ghana works when it comes to when you get people to do stuff for you, as in making stuff for you. So today I'm going to talk to you about our kitchen and the story behind our kitchen, because I've hinted in a couple of comments that there was a little story behind the reason why we decided to go down the route of having a concrete kitchen. Now, got yourself a cup of tea? Anyway, right, so the first thing is, when we moved into our boys' quarters, this 2-bedroom where we're at the moment, we needed to have a kitchen fitted because the kitchen was originally a garage. So we had to get a kitchen and we had to basically start completely from scratch. So what we needed to do is we needed to find a carpenter, and we knew a carpenter. He's a really good carpenter that could come and do the kitchen for us. So he came, he gave us a quote for the kitchen, and we had agreed. But this carpenter that we had, he's really good, but he's really unreliable. And that is the problem that you have with quite a lot of tradesmen here. Some of them have got quality skills, but they're just unreliable. You will call them and they will say, oh, yes, I'll come tomorrow. And then they don't come. And then you call them and they're still like, oh, yes, I'm coming. This happened, that happened, that happened. So what was happening is, because we had to move from where we were, it just was causing us so many delays that it was just becoming unbearable. And we just had to get out. So we had to go and get another carpenter who we had not used before. And this is where the story starts. So this guy came recommended from someone. They were like, the guy came and said, oh, I can do this kitchen even more beautiful than the first carpenter that you're trying to get. So yeah, I know exactly what you want. So we showed him pictures of what we wanted. And he said, oh, it's not a problem. He's done this many times before. He showed us even a couple of pictures of some kitchens that he had done. And he was really confident that he could get this thing done. So he gave us his price. And we said, okay, I think it was about 8,000 cedis or something to get this kitchen done. We're like, okay, let's go for it. Let's start the kitchen because we need a kitchen done. So typically when you get a carpenter to do certain things, a lot of the time they don't have the tools. So they have to go to a factory, and what they do is they cut the wood there and they have to dry the wood, and then most of the process is done in the factory before you will ever see it. But what you need to do is you need to give them a sum of money first. So what they'll do is they'll take money to buy the wood, because they don't fork out for things themselves. Whereas in the UK, you know, if you take on someone for a job, they go do all of that, and then you may have to just give them a deposit. You know, everything's pretty much safe. So we gave this guy the money to go and buy the wood, and he would start. So he went, I'm just remembering, sorry. He went to go and buy this wood for us. And he said, yes, he starts the process. He's in there, he's cutting the wood, he's doing it exactly as we want, and all the rest of it. When it came to delivery, this guy brought us a completely different design to what we wanted. These doors were not what we asked for. They were just, it's like, but why have you done this? He said, oh, but this design is more beautiful. He wanted to really try and upgrade us and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but no, this is not what we have actually asked for. We've asked for you to design the kitchen in a certain way. We know exactly the vision that we have for our kitchen, and you've done something completely different. I was like, oh, sorry, he just thought this would be better for us. And that's a big problem within the trades community in Ghana here. You tell them what you want, they give you what they think you should have. And so sometimes you have to be quite firm in telling them, no, I don't want it this way. Yes, other people in Ghana might do it this way, but no, we don't want it that way. We want ours done in this particular way. We want it done like this. We're the customer, this is how we want it. So you just go and do it how we want it. And that's not what he did. So he brought us this really, you might like it, so I don't want to use the word disgusting, but for us, it's not what we wanted. And it was just like, no. Now, the problem is that obviously he's used the money to buy the wood. And he can't just go and buy another wood because he doesn't have that. So who fitted the bill? We did. So we had to give him money to go and do the doors all over again. And it's like, you're eating into our money. Something that doesn't need to happen is happening. And so we gave him the money to go and do the doors again. So he went, this time he got the design correct. He brought the doors to us. It was very late at night. We had to keep calling him, saying, what's happening in the kitchen? And he was giving us excuses. You know, they have this thing where the wood has to dry over a certain time. which is correct, yes. So it took a little while for us to get the kitchen delivered. He brought the kitchen doors and the cabinets to us. It was very late at night. It was dark. We didn't really get to see much. And the next morning was when we actually saw what he had brought. I'm going to show you guys a picture of it, and you're going to be very shocked. The doors, the woods that he had used were completely inferior. Now I think, or this is our guess, is that the first set of doors that he brought to us, was probably from a job that maybe he had done before, where the customer didn't want it, and he tried to sell us those. Because honestly, when you compare the two doors, the first set of doors that he bought, the quality of wood, you can tell, was better than the quality of wood that he had given us. So the second set of doors that he brought us were really inferior. You could tell that the wood just wasn't great. And when he actually hung the doors on the cabinets, there was no lines. The lines were not straight. They were just, I mean, if you're the kind of person that you say, yes, you want something handmade and you want it to look authentic, and so you want everything to not be exactly perfect, then maybe this is the kitchen for you. But for us, this is not what we wanted. It was just, I'm actually, as I'm sitting talking to you, I'm in the kitchen, and so I'm looking at the cabinets as I'm speaking to you, and I'm like, it kind of boils me up inside of it, because I'm like, this is not what we wanted. Why couldn't you just give us what we wanted and what we paid for? You know, we haven't cut you down on your cost. You told us the price, we said okay, and you come and you brought us something which is completely inferior, and it's at our cost. Now, the story, you'd think is finished there, but no, the story is not finished there, guys. There's more to this story. This guy then said he's lost some of the money that he's given us. So now we've got part of the kitchen and he cannot complete. He said he's dropped the money. He dropped 1,200, I believe. He said he's dropped it, he thinks, on the way to the factory or something like that. He said that he went roaming the streets looking for the money. He doesn't understand. This has never happened to him before. La, 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 la. I went ballistic. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm pretty calm, but I went ballistic because I was like, are you kidding me? First of all, this first set of doors were wrong. This set of doors that you brought us is inferior. And now you're saying you've lost the money on top. And now we have to wait even longer. We have to give you, you're telling us that we have to give you extra money on top so that you can come and finish it. Oh my goodness. I was not happy at all, seriously. I was just bamboozled as to how this happens. Because in the UK, this kind of thing would not happen. That person who you've hired to do the job would actually give you your money back. I mean, I was angry. Kwame was angry. We were just looking at each other, just like almost in silence, like, how does this happen? You know, even though Kwame's a builder, you know, there's only so many things that he can put his hands in. There's only so many places he can be at once. And, you know, I mean, he's not a carpenter. He's a builder. He's not, you know, he can build the structure of a building. He can paint even, you know, he can do all of that. But, you know, he's not a carpenter. And so it's very difficult because they're not doing everything on site. They're doing things off site and they're bringing things back to you. And so what you have is what you have. Do you like it? Do you want it or you don't want it? You know, and he promised us so many things. He promised us that we'd have, you know, the cabinets would have the lacquer on it, you know, where it's nice and shiny, that nice finish. He said he could do all of that. We got nothing. Up till today, I think it's been about 2 years now, our kitchen is still in the same state as the day that he said he lost that money, because we haven't been able to do it. In fact, no, let me just take that back. It's not in the same state. Carpenter number one came back and saw the kitchen and then said, oh, you guys, you should have just waited for me. I was coming to do the kitchen for you, blah, 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 blah. It was like it was almost for me, it felt like adding salt to the wounds, because it's like, but we asked you in the first place and you kept saying, you're coming, you're coming. How many months later, you're still coming, you're coming, you're coming. It was so frustrating. And at the time, we didn't even have a worktop from carpenter number two. We didn't even have a worktop. So carpenter number one said, oh, let me do the worktop for you. This is the price. We said, okay, go do the worktop. We know this guy. We've used him before. His workmanship is top notch. He's really, really, really good. He's just unreliable. So if you're doing a kitchen with someone like that, and perhaps you don't need your kitchen for a year or two, he's a brilliant carpenter to use because you've got no problems because you're not in a rush. But if you want your kitchen done within a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, he's probably not the person to use either. But anyhow, I'm digressing. So he brought us this kitchen worktop. The worktop was really nice. It's quality. You can see the woods that he's used. You can tell the difference between the cabinets where the carpenter number 2 used, which was just completely inferior, and the quality of the worktop that we have from carpenter number 1. He came, did it, he fitted it for us lovely, and then he said that, okay, he's fitted now, he'll come back tomorrow, and he'll come and varnish the worktop for us. He'll sand it down, make sure everything's done all nicely, all pet, as they like to say in Ghana. He said he'll come and do that. It's been 2 years. No joke. I kept on calling this guy. No, let me tell the story properly. Kwame called this guy so many times. Yao, are you coming to do the worktop for us? Are you coming to do the worktop? Are you coming to do the worktop? Oh, I'm coming. Excuse number 1, excuse number 2, excuse number 3, 4, X, Y, Z. He had all the excuses to give. He's coming. I think one day I got so fed up, I called us. I was like, are you coming to do my worktop for me, or are you not coming? Because I said I can't just sit here and wait. I've got children. I need to organize my kitchen. All my kitchen stuff was still in boxes because I couldn't put everything into the cupboards, because you tell me you're coming tomorrow, you're coming, or you're coming next week, and you're not coming. And he never came. He promised me so many times. I think the last time that I had contact with him was about, and he told me he was coming. It must have been about 5 months ago. He said, oh, yeah, he's still coming to do it. He'll come, because obviously now the worktop, obviously it's got water stains on it, because we've been using the kitchen. Obviously we have to use the kitchen. So the worktop has water stains on that, and it's not varnished yet. And he said he's coming today. He said he'll come, he'll sand it down. It'll be all beautiful, that we'll never even know that, you know, we've used it. He'll get it back to that initial, how it was in the beginning, and he'll come and varnish it. He said, oh, beautifully, I'll do it beautifully for you. I was like, are you sure you're coming? He said, yeah, I'm coming. He has not come. So our kitchen is in this state. And it's highly frustrating, because you want to believe in people. You want to give people jobs. You want to go and, you know, you want to help people. I need something, you provide the service. Okay, let's do this. Let's work together. And it's so sad. It's so frustrating, because you've left us with a kitchen which is, we have to basically scrap and start again, or we have to try and find a way that we can improve this kitchen, and it's really frustrating. And that is why we decided to go for our concrete kitchen this time round, because with a concrete kitchen, at least we have some control over what is going on. You know, we've got a brilliant carpenter at the moment that, you know, has been able to put the structure together for us, but he's not you know, there are 2 different types of carpenters, as Kwame tells me. There are the type that will come and do like your beds, your cupboards, your kitchens, all that. And then you have a construction carpenter. So the carpenters that we're using at the moment to do our concrete kitchen, he is a construction carpenter. So he's come in and he's, you know, basically done the foundation name for the skeleton for the kitchen that we want. And so we decided to go for concrete this time, because we don't want another story like this. And, you know, it's very hard to find people. And it's like, how many mistakes are we willing to do? How many people are we willing to go through before we find this perfect person that can do the kitchen how we've asked for it to be done? So we decided to go for concrete kitchen. And, you know, even though it's a little bit of an experiment, we're more willing to take that experiment. At least, you know, if something goes wrong, it's us who's made the mistake, and we can understand that. You know, we're holding our own money, and we're saying, okay, we want this, and this, and we're just going to finish it that way. So I think Kwame said he's done a concrete kitchen before in the past in the UK, but he's never been fully hands-on with it. So this is definitely a bit of a trial for us. So he's going to be fully hands-on this time in getting it done. And that's why the concrete kitchen for me is so special, because we're like, forget the wood. It just hasn't happened. I know that many people have done, you know, wooden kitchens and it's come off well, but we wanted ours to be a particular way. We know the kind of standard that we're looking for, the kind of finish that we want. And so far, we've not found anyone to be able to do it to that standard. Yes, there are nice kitchens out there. Yes, I'm not disputing that. But we want it to a really high standard. And so far, what we've seen and what we've invested in people has not been what we've asked for. And so we're just going with the concrete kitchen. So make sure you continue to just watch and see how the concrete kitchen unfolds. I'd like to know if you guys have any stories of your kitchens as well, or working with carpenters. I'd love to hear your stories. And that's about it. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that when I put out a video, you'll be able to know that I've done that. Guys, until next time, I hope you have learned something from this video, because there is a cultural difference in how we work, how workmanship works here, because even though I've said that's the end of the video, I'm still talking, so bear with me. So there are those cultural differences. In Ghana, if you're getting someone to come in and do certain trades, well, you have to give them the money to go and buy those materials for them to be able to start the work. Without that, they can't start. So bear that in mind, because the first time I heard about this, I was like, why do I have to give you the money to go and buy the materials? Shouldn't you buy the materials? But it doesn't work here. That's just how the system works. So that's something to get your head around very quickly. So if you get a tradesman in to do something, don't be surprised if they ask you for the money to buy all the materials up front first. It's a bit strange, and it's definitely my time to go, because child number 3 is here. I'm sorry, child number 4 is here, and he's going to interrupt. So guys, anyway, until next time, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you haven't. Guys, until next time, I am out.